to question of 2011, November 2011. So it says there, we are given the trial balance. One other thing that is very important when you prepare the income statement, you are not going to check the nominal account, the balance sheet account section. Because all this, remember, the income statement includes only income and expenses. So you cannot include any amount or any account that you see there in the income statement. And then the second part, you are only going to check the nominal account section. This is the incomes and the expenses, with the exception of that expense, but we'll come to that. So we check the trial balance. The question says there, it says we must prepare the income statement, so we are done with that, and then we are given the trial balance as well as the adjustments. So we have adjustment A up to adjustment J to prepare the income statement. Now let's check. This is our answer sheet. Remember, we said we must first check the information as given and how to use the brackets. So we'll start with the sales. We'll start with the sales amount, and then we must check how much was given for sales. There is 10,500,000. So we said you write sales there as given to us, and then you open a bracket next to sales, 10,500,000. And then what are you looking for? You are looking for the debtors allowances. We must check debtors allowances. It's there. Remember, debtors allowances decreases sales. You cannot write the debtors allowances as part of the operating expenses because it reduces sales. So where you write the sales amount, you must subtract debtors allowances. So we'll say minus our debtors allowances, that is minus 145,200. And then if you calculate there, you'll get 10 million. Remember, when you calculate using millions, you must make sure that your calculation is correct. 10 million minus 145,000. Then we get 10,300 and it's about 145. Sorry, it's 145,200. 145,200, not 145,000. It's 10,500,000 minus 145,200. There it will give us 10,354,800. So 10,354,800. That is our sales. And then what are we looking for? We are also looking for the cost of sales. Cost of sales there as given is 7,487,000, and there is no adjustment on that, so we'll record it as it is, 7,487,000. And what is also important, the cost of sales amount, it must be in brackets. 10,354,800 minus 7,487,000. It must give us 2,867,800 as our gross profit. So we are done there. And then under operating income, remember we said we must check what is given to you. So if you check there, nothing, we must fill in what is left there. So you refer to your nominal account section as given. You check the incomes. We have already recorded the sales. And then the next income there is rent income. So we'll write our rent income there. Rent income. And then we open a bracket because we must show our calculation in the brackets. Where after opening a bracket, what do? You write the amount as given from the trial balance first. 176,880. 176,880. And then you also check the adjustment. If there is any adjustment on the rent, you check there. We have adjustment number F. Adjustment number F, it says the rent increased by 1,350 on 1st April 2011. The tenant has paid the rent until the end of July 2012. 11. So we must first calculate. Remember we said we identify first the accounting period, and then it's 1st July 2010 to 30 June 2011. What happened? Let's check what happened. Rent increased by 1,320 from 1st of April 2011. From there up to there we have April, May and June, 3 months. But what also happened, the tenant has paid the rent until the July 2011. July 2011 will be there. From here up to there, it's 1 month. So we are having a rent that was paid, that increased by 1,320, but not for the whole year. It increased only from the 1st of April 2011. Now if you check the adjustment, it says the rent increased by 1,320 on 1st April. The tenant has paid the rent until the end of July. Remember our accounting period on 30 June 2011. If the July rent was also paid, from there up to there is 12 months plus 1 month. So it means the rent was received for 13 months. Now if you check the trial balance, it means the 176,880 is for 13 months. 176,880 is for 13 months. But you cannot divide by 30. You cannot do this. You cannot say 176,880 multiplied by 13. It will be incorrect. Why? Because we are having a rent that was received for 13 months, but they are not equal, because the rent increased for 4 months. Rent increased by 1,320. It means for this last 4 months and this month that are here, the rent is not the same, because in this case it's before increase, this side before increase, and then this side is after increase. So how are we going to do? Now we'll check, and remember the whole information is included on the trial balance amount 176,880. So what are we going to do? We'll check how many months that include increase. 4 months, 3 months inside the accounting period and 1 month outside the accounting period. So we'll say we have 4 months that includes the increase of 1,320. So we'll calculate, let's use our calculator. 1,320 multiplied by 4. So it gives us 5,280. Remember 5,280, that is the amount for 4 months. Only the increase that is included in the amount as given from the trial balance. 176,880 minus 5,280. Then we subtract, because this is 13 unequal months because of this increase. So we'll subtract that increase to check how much is the rent before increase. So we'll say 176,880 minus 5,280, then we'll get 171,600. Remember 5,280 is only the increase of 4 months that is included in the amount. So we are subtracting it so that we can get the rent for that are equal for the whole 13 months. So we can easily divide by 13. So we'll say 171,600 divided by 13 months. It will give us 13,200. So it will give us 13,200. But remember we have subtracted the increase. So 13,200 will represent rent before increase. But we are looking for that amount, the month that include increase. So 13,200 plus 1,320, because they said per month is 1,320. So we'll add 1,320. So it will give us 14,520. So 14,520 is rent per month after increase, and only 1 month was received in advance. If it's received in advance, it becomes income received in advance, and we must subtract. So there we'll subtract 14,520 to get our rent as 162 360. So we are done with